You've worked hard your whole life and paid into CPP every single paycheck. But do you actually know how much you'll get back when you retire? The stakes are high because guessing wrong could throw off your entire retirement plan. And in this video, I'll show you 5 ways to estimate your CPP, and then I'll show you how to combine these methods for the most accurate number possible. But first, let's talk about why estimating your CPP is crucial. When you retire, the CPP is one of the most stable and predictable sources of retirement income for Canadians. It's indexed to inflation, paid for life, and backed by one of the best funded pension systems in the world. But CPP isn't static. Your benefit depends on your work history, contribution years, and when you choose to take it. The CPP system has also gone through enhancements in recent years, gradually increasing payouts for future retirees. And the closer you get to retirement, the more important it becomes to get your CPP numbers right. Because your estimates become more accurate and the decision you make, like when to take CPP or whether to keep working, can have a huge impact on your overall retirement plan. And as I've shown in previous videos, your CPP's choices can make or break your financial future in retirement. And that's why it's so important to understand how it works before you make any big moves. And don't just rely on any one method I'll show you next, because estimating CPP is kind of like building a puzzle. Each tool can give you a piece, but only by combining them do you get to see the full picture, which I'll walk you through how to do at the end. So method 1 is the ballpark estimate. In this method, you can get a rough idea of your future CPP using averages and current maximums in about 5 minutes. And by going through this ballpark estimate, you'll also deepen your understanding of how CPP works. So take a look at this table here. If you start CPP at age 60, the average Canadian receives around $540 per month. And at 65, that jumps to around $899, and at 70, it's roughly $1,150. The maximums will go up to all the way up to over $2,000 a month if you delay until 70. But how do you estimate where you will fall in that range? Well, let's use age 65 as the benchmark. To get the maximum CPP of $1,433 a month, you would have needed to earn at least the inflation-adjusted YMPE amount every year. And as of 2025, that's $71,300 for every single year for 39 years, which most people don't. So for a ballpark estimate, use this shortcut. If you're older, say 40s or 50s, the CPP is designed to replace about 25% of your average income at 65. So here's an example. Say there's Pam, she's in her 50s, she earns $50,000. She could estimate about 25 to maybe 27 or 28%. So she should be paid about $12,500 per year or $1,042 per month. If you're in your 20s or early 30s, you'll benefit more from recent CPP enhancements and might see up to 33%. So an example, Jim is 25 and he earns $50,000 per year. 33% of that is $16,500 per year, which is about almost $1,400 per month. So with this method, simply just take your average income over the past few years and multiply it by 50 or up to 33%, depending on your age and how long you plan to contribute. That gives you a quick and dirty estimate of what CPP might look like if you started at age 65. Now, obviously, this is not a perfect method, but it's fast and a great way to understand the basic mechanics of CPP. However, this estimate won't work if your situation is slightly more complex. For example, if you've had many years of low or no income, if you've had career breaks, for example, due to caregiving or disability, or if you've had time spent living out of Canada, you won't get those years for your CPP, or you want to estimate CPP at 60 or 70 instead. In these cases, the estimate might overstate or understate your actual CPP, and there are other factors like the general dropout provision, child rearing dropouts, and post-retirement benefits called PRBs that can increase your final number. Still, I think this is a helpful first step for anyone, and we'll build on it with more accurate methods in the next sections. Method 2 is using My Service Canada account, or the MSCA estimate. Now it's time to move beyond just rough estimates and look at your real numbers. The best place to start is your My Service Canada account, otherwise known as the MSCA. And through this official government portal, you can access your statement of contributions, which we'll call the SOC, which is a detailed record of every year you've contributed to CPP and how much you've earned. Based on this data, MSCA gives you a personalized estimate of your CPP benefits at ages 60, 65, and 70. Now, a quick caveat, these estimates do include all the contributions you've made to date, but it also assumes you'll continue working at a similar income level until you start CPP. The estimate also reflects indexing to inflation, so the amounts are shown in today's dollars. However, the estimate does not account for things like child rearing dropouts, which can increase your benefit if you took time off to raise kids, things like CPP survivor benefits if you've lost a spouse, or the previously mentioned post-retirement benefits if you're still contributing to CPP after starting it. And here's a pro tip. Once you get these numbers, download your SOC as a PDF or print it out. You'll want these numbers handy for more advanced calculations later on. Also, if you stop working early, your MSCA estimates may be inflated. It assumes you keep contributing up to the age that you start CPP. But this is a great baseline for most Canadians approaching retirement. And also, if you want to save more on taxes in retirement, check out our free guide with 5 proven strategies to keep more of your money. Grab a free copy, the link is in the description. Now let's move on to the third method, which is third-party calculators. So these are non-CRA, Canada, anything affiliated calculators. These are best used for quick second opinions or for visual learners. And the goal is to run fast numbers or visualize your CPP within a full retirement plan. So these third-party retirement calculators are a helpful way to test how CPP fits into your retirement timeline, especially when paired with the estimate from your Method 2, your My Service Canada account estimate. You'll find a range of tools out there. Some are very simple, like Sun Life, they have a very simple one. Others are much more advanced, which offers a lot more variable inputs, like PWLs. The better ones let you input things like your predicted income and past income by year, which gives you a far more personalized picture. Keep in mind though, some tools default to an average CPP value, so that's around 800 or so a month. Simpler tools also might not factor in special provisions like child rearing or PRBs, and the more advanced tools allow more robust planning, like comparing CPP at 60, 65, and 70, and being able to adjust things like inflation rates. But again, with more advanced tools come more complexity. Now, the pros of these are that it's user-friendly and it's quick, it's got great visual aids for understanding cash flow, it's easy to compare early versus late CPP strategies, but some of the downsides are some tools might use outdated or oversimplified assumptions. The results can be misleading if you don't input your own MSCA data by year, and some tools don't offer that robustness. It also may ignore complex rules or income types. And here's a pro tip, these calculators are great for a second opinion, but always cross-reference with your official Service Canada data. And if you're looking at these calculators and it's kind of overwhelming you and you need help planning scenarios, CPP planning is a core part of our services here at Blueprint Financial. We use advanced financial planning software that models inflation, life expectancy, and income changes across your retirement. You can check out our services on our website and book a call to see how your CPP will fit into your bigger picture. Next up is method 4, which is the Canadian Retirement Income Calculator, or CRIC, or maybe CRIC. Let's call it CRIC. I like that better. All right, so this is best for mid-career planners or retirees modeling different scenarios. And the goal is to combine CPP with OAS and personal savings in one place. And if you're serious about retirement planning and want a broader view beyond just CPP, the Canadian Retirement Income Calculator, or the CRIC, is a powerful tool. Hosted by the Government of Canada, CRIC allows you to build a full retirement income projection using real numbers. You'll input your expected retirement age, current income, personal savings, like RSPs and TFSAs, and when you plan to take CPP and OAS. The calculator then shows how your income will play out year by year, accounting for factors like inflation, investment returns, and life expectancy. It's designed to reflect current tax rules, pension legislation, and government benefit structures. And best of all, it uses today's dollars, so your results are easy to understand without needing to adjust for inflation. The CRIC is especially helpful for what-if scenarios like what happens if you retire at 60 but delay CPP to 70, or how long your savings will last if you live past the age of 90, for example. Now, the pros of CRIC is that it's comprehensive and government-backed. It also helps you visualize your full retirement income, and it also lets you test multiple retirement strategies side by side. It's also not just limited to CPP. The downsides, there are quite a lot. It does take a lot of time to complete, so expect between 30 minutes to 1 hour, and it's not the most user-friendly or has the nicest user experience, as with most things that are government offered. It requires detailed input for best results, so make sure you have very accurate numbers, and you can receive a lot of those accurate numbers from method 2 that we went over earlier. It may not fully reflect CPP enhancements or post-retirement contributions in certain edge cases. And here's a pro tip for an even longer outlook for the CRIC results. You can adjust the default life expectancy past 90, since most Canadians will underestimate how long they live. So use CRIC if you want to go beyond CPP and see how everything fits together in your retirement plan. And here's method number 5, which are manual calculations or advanced spreadsheet tools. And this is best for near retirees, do-it-yourself planners, or financial professionals. And the goal is to get exact CPP numbers or as close as you possibly can, especially if you stopped working early, had child rearing gaps, or want maximum accuracy. So if you're feeling adventurous and want to dive deep and get a fully customized CPP estimate, a manual calculation or spreadsheet tools might be the way to go. This method uses your statement of contributions in method 2, along with historical YMPE data to recreate the actual CPP formula. You'll need to account for key provisions like the general dropout, which excludes the lowest 17% of your earning years, and there's the child rearing dropout, which removes low earning years while caring for kids under age 7. There's the disability exclusions as well, the CPP enhancement introduced in 2019, and post-retirement benefits if you keep contributing after starting CPP. This method is as close you can get to the real government calculations, and in some cases, maybe even more accurate if your situation is a bit more unique or a bit of an edge case. Now, if you want to be a madman or madwoman, whoever's watching, and actually build this spreadsheet yourself, you could try to model it all yourself, by all means. It's not something I would attempt though, it's quite complicated. The best one that I found online was the Measure of a Plan CPP spreadsheet, which is highly detailed and up to date for 2025. So check that out. So the pros of going the spreadsheet route is you'll get maximum precision and visibility into your CPP plan. It also requires you to have very detailed knowledge of CPP and how it works, and along with your own scenario, which never hurts with retirement planning. Anytime that you could increase your knowledge and your awareness of your own contributions and plan, I think that can really help to plan for your retirement. It doesn't hurt. Another good thing about the spreadsheet approach is that it's fully customizable for complex cases, and it's great for testing exact what-if retirement scenarios. Now, the downsides of this approach is that it's quite time-consuming and very technical. It's not necessary for most people, I would say, and it's also the most prone to error. If you, for example, enter something into the spreadsheet wrong on a cell or two, it could throw off your entire plan, and you would probably never catch that if you're doing it all yourself and no one's really taking a look at it. So unless you're a big spreadsheet nerd like me, you'll probably get everything you need from the first 4 methods. But if you want to go full spreadsheet nerd mode, this is your playground. So now I'll show you how to combine these methods for the best results. I think the best way to estimate your CPP is to layer these methods together. Start with method 1, the ballpark estimate, to get a general sense of your potential CPP range. This helps you to understand how CPP is calculated and fits into your overall retirement income. Next, you can use your My Service Canada account or your MSCA to get a personalized estimate based on your actual contributions. This gives you a solid baseline. Then, using all that data, plug that number into tools like the Canadian Retirement Income Calculator or the CRIC, or a reputable third-party calculator as mentioned before. These let you model different retirement ages, savings strategies, and what-if scenarios. The reason I like to use multiple methods is you can compare the results of each of them. If they're pretty similar, then it's a good chance you're on the right track. But if they're wildly different results, like if one tool is telling you you're gonna get $1,000 a month, the other tool is telling you you're gonna get you like 500, there's probably a mistake or an error somewhere, and you should look into that to try to correct it. And if your situation is more complex, for example, if you had a career break, raised children, stopped working early, or plan to keep working after 60, consider using manual calculations or advanced spreadsheets to fine-tune your estimate. And here's a cheat sheet of all the different methods. You can pause it here if you want to take notes or a screenshot or whatever. Your personal decisions like when to start CPP, how long you contribute, and when you retire can significantly affect what you receive. So make sure you estimate often, especially as you approach retirement. You should be trying to estimate it at least once a year. The more accurate your numbers, the better you can plan for retirement. And if you get it right, you'll have way more confidence and clarity heading into retirement. So while CPP can be predictable, your outcome isn't, unless you plan for it. So whether you're 30 or 60, knowing how to estimate your CPP accurately gives you a huge edge. And if you want help building a full customized retirement plan around your CPP, OAS, RRSP, TFSA, and more, visit blueprintfinancial.ca and check out our services. And if you like this video, hit like and subscribe, and stick around because YouTube's picked out another video it thinks that you'll like, so check that out next on the screen.